Today, we're going to talk about the advantages of buying a home when the market is slow. So you might already know this, but when the market is slow, there is more inventory, more homes to choose from. You have more negotiating power with sellers. Not only can you negotiate a possible rate buy down, but you can also negotiate closing costs or maybe even more off the price of the home. And because of the volatile interest rates, there are not as many buyers. So you have an advantage that there's not a lot of competition going against you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about today about the benefits of buying and holding real estate. If you were to not time the market and buy and hold like most smart people do, you have the advantages of gaining more wealth. And with that, your equity will build over time because the longer you own a home, the higher it appreciates. You build equity. Every payment will reduce the loan balance. And over years, that turns into real wealth. Many homeowners are actually surprised how fast equity grows after a few years. And so you have appreciation happening here. Historically, the U.S. real estate tends to increase in value over the long term, just like the stock market. So holding property often allows owners to benefit from the rising values over time. You also have fixed housing costs versus renting. With a fixed mortgage, the principal and interest payment stays the same, while rents often rise every single year. Long term, this creates predictable housing costs. And so then you also can layer it with your tax advantages. Homeowners may benefit from mortgage interest tax deductions, property tax deductions, and depending on your tax situation, the IRS service also allows homeowners to exclude up to $250,000 in capital gains for individuals and $500,000 for married couples on the sale of your primary residence if the ownership requirements are met. It's usually 2 out of the last 5 years. So then you can count on inflation hedging. Real estate historically keeps pace with or exceeds inflation because housing costs keep rising over time while the mortgage stays relatively stable. And so this basically forces you into savings. When you rent, you walk away with nothing. So it's gone forever when you rent, but mortgage payments gradually convert into ownership. Most people build the majority of their net worth through their personal homes. And then you also have stability and control. This owning of homes or real estate allows you to renovate, customize, rent out rooms, or hold the property as a future investment. Future investment options like what I've practiced, a home can later become a rental property, a vacation home, or an asset that you actually leverage for another purchase. So if you live below your means, you can ideally hold on to the property that you're currently living in, buy another property to live in, and rent out the previous property and keep it. These are all ways that you can have real estate wealth over years if you buy and hold. Occasionally, if you have to sell, that's okay. Because remember, you do have that IRS tax deduction that you may be able to take advantage of if you meet the requirements. I hope this is helpful and educational for you. And just always reach out if you have any questions about buying real estate in North or South Carolina.